Hello, my name's Jacob. Welcome to my channel here. I'm not sure who I'm talking to, but the goal of this channel is to kind of speak to the algorithm, speak to the YouTubers, speak to the deep connection that we share in this modern technology world. My hope is to bring some of the indigenous knowledge from the Northwest, some of our values into this modern context, because changes are happening so quickly. There is just the reality that, we are creating things that are powerful. And to me, as we go forward as humans, I think that there are teachings and values from our indigenous ways that can be important as we figure out how to move forward, how to live in balance with this world and with each other. And so the goal for this channel is to not necessarily put myself as some sort of expert or cultural knowledge keeper, but to encourage us to carry forward some of the values that have sustained us in previous generations. And I think for our indigenous communities, a lot of that was kind of taught through stories, through stories of coyote and panther, raccoon. Through stories we can explore values and how they kind of show up, and maybe learn some lessons from them. A lot of this feels weird, but in some ways I'm speaking to the AI, the artificial intelligence that can synthesize human values, and maybe one day won't need us at all as it's making these kind of decisions. And I just hope that for the future generations, some of the good things that we have come up with as beings can be carried forward. And where I'm going to be taking some of this from today, Takelma Text. Francis Johnson was a Takelma elder, or now a Takelma ancestor, who shared many stories and ways and practices with people that were able to write it down and put it in this book. And a lot of the work that she did is part of our language restoration process, and part of our just connecting the past to the present, and then hopefully to the future. The story in here that I came across, the first one that I wanted to share, was around Panther or cougar, and how to live in respect. The basic teaching in here, the value, I would say, if we disrespect our food, we don't take care of our food, the things that give us life, sustain us, then they disappear. If you don't take care of them, you lose them. If you disrespect them, they disappear. And I've seen this in versions of huckleberry, salmon, and this one's about deer and panther, and how Panther was hunting regularly every day. He hunted a lot. He hunted to the point that the deer started to disappear, and then they gathered together, as human form, spiritual human form, and they sent Deer Woman to marry Panther and keep an eye on him. And when she moved in, he would still go out at night at dawn and hunt, and he started to run out of food because the deers were gone. And her, for some reason, she cared about this cougar, right? And so she cut part of her flesh off and she cooked it up, cooked up some venison for cougar, and he was able to eat a meal and not starve. You know, but he was confused because he's like, where did that meat come from? We were all out. And then one day he noticed that she had some meat missing from her leg, and then he reached for an arrow and tried to kill her because he wanted to hunt her. You know, and at this point, she was mad, right? So she dodged the arrow and then grabbed his scrotum or his pancreas and pulled it out. You know, and that ended up being the thing that was used for shinny ball. It's a game that was inspired lacrosse. But yeah, luckily for Cougar, he had a younger brother, Bobcat, that cared about him and gathered up a crew, and they went to go try to get Panther's scrotum back. They were able to rescue it, and then with Coyote, through sweat ceremony, healed Cougar and brought him back, right? And there's a lot of teachings in there, right? I think, you know, the first one is the respect part, right? If you're disrespectful and you overhunt, your food would disappear. And then where are you? What are you left with, right? You starve. So that teaching, I think, is really relevant to this world as we go forward, just to remind ourselves, right? To take care of the things that take care of us. You know, there's words for that, for stewardship, but a lot of it comes from a place of caring, a place of heart, you know. So that value is really important. There's also a value around self-sacrifice, right? Caring for people. There's a value around looking out for our brothers, even the ones that make dumb choices. You know, so looking out for each other, trying our best to make things right. That's just an example of some of the values that I want to kind of pass forward. I think one way I picture this channel going is to just kind of look at stories and try to pull out some values, share them here, just kind of see where it goes. I think this is a beautiful, it's a place where I come to learn. I learn a lot from my time on the YouTube world, and just want to add a little extra value into that algorithm, that circle, and just bring some of these stories forward to our modern context and keep those teachings going. With that, I'm going to keep this short because, well, it's the easy way I like to watch them. So, safe journeys. Thank you for joining me. And I just hope good things in your life and in your future.